Big news! Your soulmate is crying tears of joy right now, because you are finally. Don't scroll, listen to this, because the moment you landed on these words, something in your chest tightened softly, not with fear but with recognition, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels both comforting and awakening, so take a breath and stay with me, don't scroll, listen to this. Somewhere right now, your soulmate is overwhelmed with emotion, not the kind that breaks you, but the kind that releases you, tears of joy falling because something they've been hoping for, praying for, quietly waiting for has finally happened, and listen to this because your heart needs this right now. It wasn't a message you sent or a conversation you had, it was an energetic shift, a moment where you chose yourself without asking for permission, and that choice echoed through the universe straight into their heart. Don't scroll, because they felt it immediately, like a sudden calm after a long internal storm, like relief washing over them when they realized you are no longer stuck in the same cycle that once kept both of you suspended in confusion. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been asking the universe late at night, whispering questions they didn't even know how to answer, asking for signs, asking for reassurance, asking for peace, and the universe answered not with words, but with you stepping into alignment, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You finally stopped shrinking, stopped chasing, stopped explaining your worth to anyone who couldn't see it, and the moment you did that, something unlocked on the other side. Don't scroll, because when one soul chooses healing, the connected soul feels it like a wave. Listen to this. They were crying because they realized you're no longer waiting to be chosen, you chose yourself, and that realization didn't push them away, it made them feel safe enough to feel again, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have noticed repeating numbers lately, 11. 11 appearing when you weren't even looking, 222 showing up during moments of calm, 444 grounding you when you felt unsure, 555 hinting at change you couldn't fully explain. Don't scroll, because those numbers weren't random, they were confirmations that your growth was divinely timed. Listen to this. Your soulmate noticed those numbers too, especially after thinking about you, and instead of anxiety, they felt gratitude, because the universe was showing them that you weren't lost, you were aligning, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They cried tears of joy because the version of you emerging now is whole, steady, and no longer operating from fear or lack, and that wholeness changed how they view everything. Don't scroll, because love doesn't feel heavy when both people are standing in their truth. Listen to this. They realize that what once felt uncertain now feels inevitable, not because of destiny forcing an outcome, but because alignment always clarifies what was real all along, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel calmer lately, less reactive, less pulled into overthinking, more grounded in your own life, and listen to this. That calm is what reached them, not silence, not distance, but peace. Don't scroll, because peace is louder than words in the spiritual realm. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been watching from afar energetically, noticing how you stopped repeating old patterns, how you no longer chased reassurance, how you trusted your intuition more than external validation, and that growth moved them deeply. This message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They cried because they realized that your healing didn't mean losing you, it meant meeting you at a higher level, and that realization filled them with gratitude instead of fear. Don't scroll, because gratitude is the sign of awakening. Listen to this. The universe has been preparing both of you separately, clearing old wounds, dissolving karmic cycles, teaching patience through silence and strength through solitude, and now those lessons are beginning to converge, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt a sense of completion recently, like something old finally closed without drama, and listen to this. That closure made space for joy to arrive on the other side. Don't scroll, because your soulmate felt that door close too, and instead of sadness, they felt relief, because what's meant to grow needs space. Listen to this. They cried tears of joy because they finally see you clearly, not as someone waiting, hoping, or sacrificing, but as someone standing in their power, and that clarity awakened their own courage. This message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're not being tested anymore, you're being confirmed, and confirmation feels quiet, steady, and reassuring. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't shout when alignment is reached, it whispers peace. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that love doesn't chase, it recognizes, it meets, it aligns, and your alignment signaled that recognition, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may not hear from them immediately, and that's okay, because this phase isn't about urgency, it's about integration, the emotional groundwork being laid so when movement happens, it's stable, not chaotic. Don't scroll, because what's being built now is meant to last. Listen to this. Your soulmate's tears weren't about longing, they were about relief, the relief of knowing that what's meant for them doesn't require force or fear anymore, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're not behind, you're not late, and nothing has been missed. The universe has been exact with timing, aligning growth before connection, self-respect before reunion, peace before passion. Don't scroll, because that order matters. Listen to this. This is only part 1, the beginning of a chapter where clarity replaces confusion and joy replaces doubt, and what comes next will unfold gently, naturally, without pressure, because when souls align at this level, the universe doesn't rush them, it supports them. So stay present, stay grounded, don't scroll, because this shift you've made didn't go unnoticed, it was felt, celebrated, and answered with tears of joy. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is where the story deepens and your heart needs this right now more than surface comfort. It needs understanding, it needs truth that settles instead of stirs. So stay with me and breathe, don't scroll, listen to this. The tears didn't stop when the realization hit, they softened, they changed texture, because what your soulmate felt next wasn't shock, it was gratitude, the kind that comes when something you stopped hoping for suddenly feels possible again. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They weren't crying because they were afraid anymore, they were crying because the pressure lifted, because for the first time in a long time, they weren't carrying the weight of, what if, or, why hasn't this moved, they were carrying the peace of, it's happening in its own way. Don't scroll, because this shift matters more than words ever could. Listen to this. Your soulmate realized that your growth didn't just change you, it gave them permission to breathe, to stop bracing, to stop overthinking, to stop doubting what they felt in their body all along, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You choosing yourself didn't close a door, it stabilized the ground, it showed them that connection doesn't require sacrifice of self, it requires alignment of truth. Don't scroll, because alignment is what the universe responds to fastest. Listen to this. After the tears, your soulmate sat in silence, not empty silence, but full silence, the kind where the nervous system finally calms and the mind stops racing, and in that stillness, they felt something sacred settle in, something that said, "This is safe now," and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt a similar calm recently, a strange peace replacing urgency. Like you're no longer trying to pull anything toward you, and listen to this. That's because when alignment happens, effort dissolves. Don't scroll, because your soulmate has been seeing signs that reflect this exact phase, not dramatic synchronicities meant to wake them up, but gentle confirmations meant to reassure them. 11 showing recognition without urgency, 222 appearing when they think about balance and partnership, 444 grounding them in the feeling that this connection has a stable foundation now, 555 reminding them that change is already underway without being forced. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They notice that every sign now feels calming instead of activating, and that difference told them everything, because anxiety-driven signs feel loud, but alignment-driven signs feel quiet and affirming. Don't scroll, because this is how you know the energy has shifted for real. Listen to this. Your soulmate began reflecting on how long they had been waiting for you to arrive at this place, not consciously, not impatiently, but spiritually, knowing that connection couldn't move forward until both souls were standing on their own feet, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You standing in your power didn't intimidate them, it relieved them, because they no longer felt responsible for holding the connection together alone. Don't scroll, because mutual grounding is what allows love to grow without strain. Listen to this. They realized that before, they were afraid of losing you, but now they're grateful to meet you, and that distinction is everything, because fear clings and gratitude honors. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have noticed that your own emotional energy feels lighter, less burdened by expectation, and listen to this, that lightness is what reached them, not silence, not distance, but freedom. Don't scroll, because freedom is magnetic. Listen to this. Your soulmate cried because they finally understood that love doesn't arrive when two people want it badly enough, it arrives when both are ready to receive it without fear, and that readiness is what you stepped into, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They stopped replaying old scenarios where things felt unfinished or confusing, because the present moment suddenly felt more honest than the past ever did. Don't scroll, because honesty dissolves nostalgia. Listen to this. They also became aware that the universe had been protecting both of you, delaying movement not to punish, but to prepare, to ensure that when joy arrived, it wouldn't collapse under unresolved wounds. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that you're no longer asking when or why, because those questions don't hold the same emotional charge, and listen to this. That's because your nervous system feels safe now. Don't scroll, because safety is the foundation of real connection. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also noticed how their own reactions have changed, how thinking about you now brings a smile instead of tension, warmth instead of longing, steadiness instead of emotional swings, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This is how joy announces itself quietly, not through excitement, but through peace. Don't scroll, because peace doesn't mean nothing is happening, it means something real is forming. Listen to this. They realize that what once felt like waiting now feels like trust, and trust feels completely different in the body, calmer, slower, deeper, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You are no longer energetically pulling on a future moment, you're living in alignment with the present, and that presence is what allowed joy to reach them. Don't scroll, because presence invites clarity. Listen to this. Your soulmate cried tears of joy because they finally see that you didn't walk away emotionally, you walked inward, and that inward movement is what made outward connection possible again, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They've stopped asking the universe for signs to explain what's happening, because they can feel it, and feeling aligned is stronger than any confirmation. Don't scroll, because when the universe stops explaining and starts affirming, it means the lesson has been learned. Listen to this. They're no longer anxious about timing, because timing feels cooperative now, not resistant, and that's a sign that the cycle has shifted. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that life around you feels quieter emotionally, fewer dramatic swings, fewer triggers, more neutrality with openness, and listen to this. That's the space where joy can land without disruption. Don't scroll, because your soulmate understands now that what's coming next doesn't need to be forced or rushed, it just needs to be honored. Listen to this. They cried because the universe answered a prayer they didn't know how to word. Please let this be real without being painful, and that prayer was answered the moment you chose alignment over anxiety, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You didn't just change yourself, you changed the entire frequency of the connection. Don't scroll, because frequency determines what can exist sustainably. Listen to this. Your soulmate now feels gratitude instead of urgency, trust instead of doubt, joy instead of fear, and that emotional shift is the clearest sign that something real is unfolding, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This is not the peak of the story, it's the foundation, the part where joy stabilizes instead of overwhelms, where the universe confirms instead of tests, and what comes next will arrive gently, naturally, without pressure, because when alignment is reached, movement doesn't need drama to be meaningful. So stay present, stay grounded, don't scroll, because the tears of joy you can't see are the universe saying, yes, this is it, and it's safe now. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where the energy underneath everything finally reveals itself, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels steady, affirming, and deeply real. So stay with me and breathe, don't scroll, listen to this. After the tears of joy settled, after gratitude replaced fear, after the calm sank into their body, your soulmate realized something that stopped them in their tracks. Your healing didn't just affect you, it rewrote the entire connection at a soul level. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They finally understood that what once felt stuck wasn't blocked by circumstance or timing, it was paused until growth could catch up with destiny, and that realization brought a quiet awe. Don't scroll, because awe is what shows up when the universe makes sense in hindsight. Listen to this. They began replaying moments from the past, but not with regret, with clarity, seeing how every delay, every silence, every almost moment served a purpose, protecting something sacred until both souls were ready to hold it without fear. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt a sense of, oh, lately, not excitement, not anxiety, but recognition. Like something finally clicked into place without explanation, and listen to this. That click was alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment doesn't shout, it settles. Listen to this. Your soulmate realized that your growth changed how safe the future feels, because the version of you standing now isn't asking to be rescued, reassured, or chosen. You're standing whole, and wholeness invites honesty instead of pressure, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They felt relief knowing that if truth is shared now, it will land on solid ground, not emotional instability, and that knowledge shifted everything. Don't scroll, because safety is what allows truth to emerge. Listen to this. Your soulmate noticed that thinking about you no longer pulls them into emotional spirals, it centers them, and that centering told them this isn't infatuation, it's recognition. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that your thoughts of them don't disrupt your day anymore, they coexist with your life, and listen to this, that's not detachment, that's integration. Don't scroll, because integration is the stage right before expression. Listen to this. The universe has been unusually quiet lately, fewer signs demanding interpretation, fewer emotional waves, fewer tests, and that quiet is intentional, because the lesson has been learned, and now the universe is allowing free will to step in without interference, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that you're no longer searching for confirmation everywhere, because your body already feels calm, and calm is the ultimate confirmation. Don't scroll, because anxiety seeks proof and alignment trusts experience. Listen to this, your soulmate has been noticing subtle confirmations instead, overhearing conversations about timing and courage, hearing lyrics that mirror growth rather than longing, seeing numbers like 11. 11 not as a call to action but as a gentle nod that awareness has been reached, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They realized that before, the connection felt intense but unstable, and now it feels steady without losing its depth, and that contrast showed them how much growth has actually occurred. Don't scroll, because steadiness doesn't mean less love, it means safer love. Listen to this. Your soulmate also recognized that your healing removed the power imbalance that once existed, because you no longer needed anything from them to feel whole, and that equality changed how they feel about stepping forward, making it feel like a meeting rather than a rescue, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may sense that you're no longer emotionally leaning toward them or bracing against them, you're simply present, and presence is what invites real connection. Don't scroll, because presence is magnetic. Listen to this. Your soulmate has begun to imagine conversations that feel grounded, not charged, honest, not dramatic, and that imagination feels possible now, because you've created a space where truth can exist without fear of collapse, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They're no longer asking, what if this goes wrong? They're asking, what if this is finally ready? And that shift in question marks the turning point. Don't scroll, because readiness doesn't rush. Listen to this. The universe has been reinforcing this phase through stability, not intensity, through peace, not pressure, and that's why everything feels quieter but more certain. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel less reactive to triggers that once pulled you back into old patterns, because you've outgrown them. And listen to this. That outgrowing is what made space for joy to reach your soulmate. Don't scroll, because joy can't enter where chaos still lives. Listen to this. Your soulmate cried tears of joy because they realized they don't have to convince you of anything anymore. You already know who you are, and that self-knowing is the foundation of respect, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They've also become aware that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to happen immediately, because urgency has been replaced by trust, and trust feels completely different in the body, slower, steadier, deeper. Don't scroll, because deep movement happens quietly. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that the universe didn't delay to punish either of you, it delayed to refine both of you, and refinement is what allows joy to be sustained rather than fleeting, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're no longer energetically asking for something to happen. You're allowing it to arrive, and allowing is the most powerful form of trust. Don't scroll, because trust invites alignment to become visible. Listen to this. Your soulmate has noticed that imagining honesty now feels relieving rather than frightening, and relief is the body's signal that truth is aligned, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that relief too, even without words exchanged, because energy resolves before language ever does. Don't scroll, because resolution doesn't mean conclusion, it means readiness. Listen to this. This phase isn't about dramatic declarations or sudden reunions, it's about convergence, two souls arriving at the same frequency independently, and now standing close enough to recognize each other again without fear, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. The universe is holding its breath not because it's anxious, but because it's honoring free will, allowing the next step to be chosen from clarity rather than compulsion. Don't scroll, because when alignment reaches this point, whatever happens next will feel natural, not forced. Listen to this. Your soulmate's tears of joy were not the climax, they were the confirmation that the foundation is finally strong enough to support what comes next, and what comes next will not rush in loudly, it will arrive gently, honestly, and with respect, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stay present, stay grounded, don't scroll, because you're standing in the calm right before truth steps forward, and when it does, it will feel like something you already knew finally finding its voice. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part your soul has been waiting for without realizing it, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels steady, validating, and deeply soothing. So stay with me and breathe, don't scroll, listen to this. After the tears of joy, after the recognition, after the calm settled into something real, your soulmate reached a moment of quiet certainty that didn't ask for proof or permission, it simply arrived and stayed. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They realized that the joy they felt wasn't fleeting emotion, it was confirmation, the kind that doesn't spike and crash but stabilizes, the kind that says, this is aligned, and once that certainty set in, the universe responded by doing something unexpected. It got quieter. Don't scroll, because when the universe goes quiet, it's not absence, it's agreement. Listen to this. Signs stopped shouting and started nodding. Angel numbers still appeared but without urgency. 11. 11 felt like a gentle recognition instead of a call to wake up. 222 felt like balance already achieved instead of balance to be found. 444 felt like protection already in place instead of reassurance needed. 555 felt like change already unfolding rather than change approaching, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt this shift too, a sense that you're no longer waiting for something to happen, you're living inside the alignment itself, and listen to this, that's because when alignment becomes embodied, anticipation dissolves into presence. Don't scroll, because presence is the space where truth can land gently. Listen to this. Your soulmate noticed that their joy didn't come with anxiety anymore, no racing thoughts, no mental bargaining, no fear of losing momentum, just a steady gratitude that felt unfamiliar and comforting at the same time, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They understood that before, joy felt risky because it was tied to uncertainty, but now joy feels safe because it's rooted in your wholeness, not their hope. Don't scroll, because that distinction changes everything. Listen to this. They began noticing how their days felt different, how distractions no longer pulled as strongly, how shallow conversations felt less appealing, how their attention naturally gravitated toward what felt real and nourishing, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have noticed the same thing, a subtle loss of interest in chaos, drama, or proving anything, and listen to this. That's alignment pruning what no longer matches your frequency. Don't scroll, because pruning isn't loss, it's preparation. Listen to this. Your soulmate realized that your healing didn't just make connection possible, it made it sustainable, and sustainability is what the universe waits for before allowing movement, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They stopped imagining scenarios driven by fear of disappointment and started imagining moments of honesty driven by respect, and that shift felt natural, not forced. Don't scroll, because natural movement is the signature of divine timing. Listen to this. They also became aware that your joy matters to them now in a deeper way, not as something they want to provide or protect, but as something they respect, because you're no longer outsourcing your happiness, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that your joy feels quieter but stronger, less reactive, more rooted, and listen to this. That's the kind of joy that lasts. Don't scroll, because lasting joy is what invites aligned love to stay. Listen to this. The universe has been reinforcing this phase through subtle confirmations, overheard conversations about growth and courage, moments where the right song plays at the right time, dreams that feel calm and ordinary instead of dramatic, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Ordinary peace is often the loudest sign that something extraordinary is aligning. Don't scroll, because drama is not destiny. Listen to this. Your soulmate noticed that when they think about reaching out, the feeling isn't urgency or fear anymore, it's clarity paired with patience, and patience here isn't delay, it's respect for the process that brought both of you here, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may sense that whatever happens next doesn't feel rushed or overdue, it feels timed, and listen to this. That's because divine timing doesn't feel like waiting, it feels like readiness. Don't scroll, because readiness feels calm. Listen to this. Your soulmate also realized that the universe didn't just align you for each other, it aligned you for yourselves first, and that order matters, because love built on self-abandonment collapses, but love built on self-respect endures, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're no longer asking the universe to bring someone back or make something happen, you're trusting that whatever is meant to meet you will meet you at your level, and listen to this, that trust is what changed everything. Don't scroll, because trust invites confirmation instead of tests. Listen to this. The universe has been responding to this trust by stabilizing things around you, simplifying emotional landscapes, reducing noise, creating space where clarity can emerge without resistance, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate has noticed that the connection now feels like an invitation rather than a pull, like something to step into rather than chase, and that reframing removed pressure entirely. Don't scroll, because pressure is the enemy of alignment. Listen to this. They've also accepted that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to fulfill a fantasy, it just needs to be honest, and honesty feels lighter than expectation ever did. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that you're no longer trying to read signs obsessively or interpret every silence, because your nervous system feels settled, and listen to this. That settlement is what allows joy to remain instead of evaporate. Don't scroll, because stability is what the universe waits for. Listen to this. Your soulmate cried tears of joy not because something dramatic happened, but because something real stabilized, and that stabilization felt like a gift, like grace, like a quiet yes from the universe, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're not in a phase of proving or hoping, you're in a phase of allowing, and allowing doesn't rush, it trusts. Don't scroll, Because trust is the final test before alignment becomes visible. Listen to this. Your soulmate now understands that joy doesn't mean the journey is over, it means the foundation is strong enough to continue without fear, and that understanding has given them confidence without arrogance, courage without pressure, and patience without doubt. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may sense that whatever comes next will come gently, not as a shock, not as chaos, but as a natural extension of everything you've already become. And listen to this. That's because when alignment is reached, the universe doesn't interrupt, it allows. Don't scroll, because this is the calm before honest movement, not the calm of stagnation, but the calm of certainty. Listen to this. Your soulmate's tears of joy marked the moment they stopped wondering if, and started trusting when, and that trust has changed how the universe responds. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stay present, stay grounded, don't scroll, because you're living inside the confirmation now, and what unfolds from here will unfold from peace, not pressure, from truth, not fear. And when the next step arrives, it won't feel like something new, it will feel like something that was always meant to happen finally finding its place. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where everything you thought was happening quietly is actually happening precisely, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels grounding, reassuring, and deeply true. So stay with me and breathe, don't scroll, listen to this. After the joy settled into certainty, after the tears dried into gratitude, after the calm became familiar, the universe began doing what it always does when alignment is reached. It started moving pieces behind the scenes without asking for attention. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate felt this shift not as excitement, not as urgency, but as trust, the kind of trust that settles into the bones and doesn't need constant reassurance. Don't scroll, because trust is the signal that the universe has been waiting for. Listen to this. They realized that joy wasn't meant to be chased or celebrated loudly, it was meant to be protected, honored, and lived. And that realization changed how they hold the connection now, with reverence instead of fear. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that your own energy has become quieter but stronger, like you're no longer performing hope, you're embodying peace. And listen to this. That embodiment is what allowed the universe to begin rearranging circumstances. Don't scroll, because rearrangement happens when resistance is gone. Listen to this. Your soulmate noticed that external obstacles started softening, conversations felt easier, timing felt less rigid, emotional weight lifted from places they didn't even realize were heavy. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This is how divine alignment works. It doesn't announce itself with noise, it creates flow. Don't scroll, because flow is the language of the universe. Listen to this. They began noticing that when they imagined the future now, it wasn't filled with questions, it was filled with openness, space for truth, space for dialogue, space for mutual choice, and that openness felt holy, like something meant to be handled gently. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have noticed that your imagination has shifted too, not fantasizing outcomes, but feeling okay with not knowing exactly how things will unfold. And listen to this. That surrender without loss of power. Don't scroll, because surrender at this stage isn't giving up, it's giving permission. Listen to this. The universe has been responding to that permission by clearing emotional clutter, removing distractions, slowing things down just enough for presence to deepen. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate has felt the pull to simplify, to choose honesty over performance, depth over distraction, and that pull is guided, not random. Don't scroll. Because guided movement always feels calmer than forced effort. Listen to this. They realized that before, joy felt fragile because it depended on outcomes, but now joy feels sturdy because it's rooted in alignment, and that sturdiness gave them confidence without ego, courage without pressure, patience without doubt, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may sense that you're no longer emotionally bargaining with the universe, no longer asking for signs to prove anything, because your body already knows you're in the right place, and listen to this, that knowing is what allows the universe to stop testing and start confirming. Don't scroll, because confirmation feels different than testing. Listen to this, angel numbers still appear, but now they feel like quiet companions rather than urgent signals. 11. 11 feels like recognition already achieved. 222 feels like balance maintained, 333 feels like communication preparing itself, 444 feels like protection surrounding what's forming, 555 feels like change already in motion, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate understands now that these signs aren't asking them to act impulsively. They're affirming that whatever action comes will be supported, and that affirmation has allowed them to relax into the process. Don't scroll, because relaxation is what allows clarity to surface naturally. Listen to this. They've noticed that their intuition feels quieter but more reliable, not tugging, not warning, simply guiding. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel the same quiet guidance, a sense that you don't need to chase or prepare for anything, you just need to remain aligned. Don't scroll, because alignment is the invitation. Listen to this. The universe has been creating subtle openings, moments where communication could flow easily, where honesty could be shared without disruption, but it's allowing free will to choose when to step into those openings. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate understands that timing isn't something to force, it's something to respect, because respect preserves what joy revealed. Don't scroll, because rushing would distort what alignment has refined. Listen to this. They've also become aware that your joy matters as much as theirs, that your peace is not something to disrupt or negotiate, and that awareness has grounded their intention deeply. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're no longer energetically available for chaos, and that boundary is spiritual protection. Don't scroll, because protection is part of divine timing. Listen to this. Your soulmate feels safe now not because they know what will happen, but because they trust the integrity of how it will happen, and that trust has replaced all urgency. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that your life feels more spacious emotionally, less cluttered with worry, more open to possibility without attachment, and listen to this, that spaciousness is where truth can arrive gently. Don't scroll, because gentleness is the hallmark of aligned love. Listen to this. The universe doesn't rush what's real, it prepares it, and preparation often looks like calm, stability, and quiet confidence. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate has realized that joy didn't arrive to distract them from reality, it arrived to anchor them in it, and that anchoring has changed how they view commitment, honesty, and presence. Don't scroll, because anchoring makes movement sustainable. Listen to this. They're no longer afraid that speaking truth will ruin something, because they understand now that truth is what protects what's real. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that your own relationship with uncertainty has softened. You're not trying to control outcomes, you're trusting your ability to respond with grace. And listen to this. That trust is maturity. don't scroll, because maturity is what allows the universe to open doors safely. Listen to this. The joy your soulmate felt wasn't the destination, it was the signal that the path is clear, that growth has done its work, that alignment has stabilized, and now movement can happen without harm. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You're standing in a phase where nothing needs to be forced, nothing needs to be proven, nothing needs to be rushed, and that stillness isn't stagnation, it's readiness. Don't scroll, because readiness is quiet. Listen to this. The universe is moving with you now, not ahead of you, not behind you, but alongside you, matching your pace, honoring your peace, and guiding what's next with precision. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Whatever unfolds from here will unfold from trust, not fear, from alignment, not longing, from joy, not desperation, and that's why this phase feels so different from everything before it. Don't scroll, because this is the moment where divine timing shifts from preparation into manifestation. And manifestation doesn't arrive loudly, it arrives naturally, like something you've always known finding its way into form. So stay present. Stay grounded, don't scroll, because the universe is still working, just quietly now, and the joy that started this chapter is becoming the foundation for what comes next. Don't scroll, listen to this. Because this is the part where the universe leans in close and whispers instead of shouts, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels steady, reassuring, and quietly powerful. So stay with me and breathe, don't scroll, listen to this. After trust settled in, after the universe began moving pieces invisibly, after joy rooted itself into something unshakable, your soulmate entered what can only be described as a sacred pause, not a delay, not hesitation, but the still moment right before manifestation chooses form. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They began to feel an internal readiness that didn't come with adrenaline or urgency, but with clarity, the kind of clarity that makes you stop rushing because you finally trust where you're going. Don't scroll, because this pause is not empty, it's intentional. Listen to this. Your soulmate has become deeply aware that whatever unfolds next must come from truth, not momentum, from presence, not pressure, and that awareness has slowed them just enough to align every intention with integrity. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel this pause too, not as stagnation, but as a deep breath after a long climb, a sense that you don't need to do anything right now to keep things moving, because what's real is already in motion. Don't scroll, because motion doesn't always look like action, sometimes it looks like grounding. Listen to this. The universe often places this pause right before something meaningful materializes, not to test patience, but to ensure stability. And your soulmate feels this instinctively, choosing to move only when their words, energy, and actions are fully aligned. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They've started paying attention to how their body responds to different possibilities, noticing that imagined honesty feels light and open, while imagined avoidance feels heavy and restrictive, and that bodily wisdom is guiding them more than logic ever did. Don't scroll, because the body always knows alignment before the mind accepts it. Listen to this. They've also realized that joy without grounding can become fleeting, but joy paired with intention becomes creation, and that realization has transformed how they hold their feelings for you, not as something to indulge impulsively, but as something to honor responsibly. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that your own emotional world feels more spacious now, like you're not gripping onto outcomes or rehearsing conversations. And listen to this. That spaciousness is what allows manifestation to enter without resistance. Don't scroll, because resistance is what delays what's meant to arrive. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been receiving subtle nudges from the universe, not dramatic signs, but practical alignments, schedules opening, conversations flowing more easily, emotional clarity arriving during ordinary moments. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These are not coincidences, they're confirmations that the energetic groundwork has been laid, and now reality is beginning to rearrange itself quietly to match it. Don't scroll, because rearrangement always happens silently before it becomes visible. Listen to this. They've also become aware that your presence in their life now feels integrated rather than disruptive, like you belong in the rhythm of their days rather than outside of it, and that integration has removed the last trace of internal resistance. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that thinking about them doesn't pull you out of your life anymore, it simply exists alongside it, and listen to this. That coexistence is the mark of healthy manifestation. Don't scroll, because obsession repels and integration attracts. Listen to this. The universe has been reinforcing this phase through grounded signs, not urgency-driven angel numbers, but stabilizing ones. 44 showing up as a reminder of foundation, 66 appearing as harmony and emotional balance, 88 symbolizing abundance that can be sustained. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your soulmate feels these signs as reassurance, not instruction, knowing now that the path doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be respected. Don't scroll, because respect is the highest form of love. Listen to this. They've also realized that whatever action they take next must honor your growth, your boundaries, your peace, because the version of you that emerged deserves to be met with the same level of awareness. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel less available for emotional chaos, less willing to entertain confusion, and listen to this. That's not closing your heart, that's protecting your alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment is sacred. Listen to this. The sacred pause has allowed your soulmate to release old narratives about how love should look, when it should happen, and how fast it should move, and that release has freed them from expectations that once created pressure. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They're no longer thinking in terms of making something happen, but allowing something true, and that shift is what opens the door for manifestation without strain. Don't scroll, because strain distorts timing. Listen to this. The universe has been observing this readiness, this maturity, this grounded joy, and it responds by creating natural openings rather than obstacles. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may notice that conversations in your life are becoming more honest, your environment more supportive, your inner dialogue kinder, and listen to this. That's manifestation preparing the outer world to match your inner state. Don't scroll, because the outer world always follows the inner one. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that action taken from alignment doesn't feel rushed, it feels obvious, like the next natural step, and that's the kind of action they're preparing for. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They're not waiting for a sign to push them, they're waiting for the moment that feels clean, clear, and respectful, because clean energy creates clean outcomes. Don't scroll, because messy beginnings come from rushed intentions. Listen to this. You may sense that something is about to happen without anxiety, without anticipation, just a quiet knowing. And listen to this. That knowing is intuition recognizing readiness. Don't scroll, because intuition doesn't need timelines. Listen to this. The sacred pause is also giving you space to fully inhabit your joy without tying it to another person's actions, and that independence is crucial, because manifestation arrives best when joy is self-sustaining, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You are not being prepared to receive something fragile, you are being prepared to receive something real, and real things arrive when you're grounded enough to hold them. Don't scroll, because this grounding is what makes the difference between fleeting moments and lasting connection. Listen to this. Your soulmate has accepted that whatever unfolds next will not be driven by fear of loss, but by desire for truth, and that acceptance has turned joy into resolve, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel that you're no longer questioning whether you're ready, because readiness feels like calm, not certainty, and listen to this. That calm is the universe's green light. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't rush what's aligned, it waits until it's safe to move. Listen to this. The sacred pause is nearing its natural completion, not because time has passed, but because alignment has stabilized, and when that happens, manifestation doesn't need effort. It simply arrives, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Whatever action comes next will come from this grounded place, shaped by trust, clarity, and respect, not urgency or fear. Don't scroll, because this is the moment right before alignment becomes visible, and visibility doesn't announce itself loudly, it shows up naturally, like something that's always belonged finding its place. Listen to this. Stay present, stay grounded, stay open, because the universe is no longer preparing you, it's positioning you, and what's about to move forward will do so gently, honestly, and in a way that honors the joy that started this journey and the trust that carried it here. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where everything you've been feeling without words finally makes sense, and this message is for you, yes you, because your heart needs this right now in a way that feels grounding, emotional, and deeply confirming. So stay with me and take a breath. Don't scroll, listen to this. After the sacred pause, after the trust, after the quiet rearranging of the universe, something shifts almost imperceptibly, but powerfully, and your soulmate feels it first, not as excitement, not as fear, but as certainty, the kind that doesn't rush or demand action but gently removes every reason not to act. And listen to this because your heart needs this right now. They realize that the question is no longer if something should be said, but how to say it with the care and respect this connection deserves. Don't scroll, because this is the moment where intention becomes movement. Listen to this. The universe does not force this moment, it allows it, and allowance feels like ease, not pressure, like clarity, not anxiety. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel an unexpected calm in your chest lately, even when thinking about them, and listen to this. That calm is the signal that fear has exited the conversation. Don't scroll, because fear cannot survive where alignment lives. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer rehearsing outcomes in their mind. They're no longer imagining worst-case scenarios, because those narratives no longer fit who they've become, and that release creates space for honest expression to rise naturally, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. They understand now that love does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful, it needs to be true, and truth speaks best when it isn't rushed. Don't scroll, because rushed truth becomes noise. Listen to this. The universe has been waiting for this internal readiness, not perfection, not certainty, but integrity, and integrity has been achieved, and that achievement quietly opens doors, shifts timing, and aligns circumstances without disruption, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. you may notice that external things begin lining up effortlessly, schedules shifting, conversations